Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
Over the last 7 years, we have consistently released weekly episodes focusing on
obstacle course racing, running, and other adventures.
You'll hear interviews, event recaps, conversations about our sport,
quick news updates about happenings in our community.
And now, here are your hosts,
Standing on the corner,
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter.
And Caitlin, how was your weekend?
It was okay. How was yours?
Good. We went on our field trip for the New England OCR Expo. We went to Ultimate Obstacles and had a blast there. What did you have the most fun doing?
I like the assault bike. I stand by it.
Mine was pickleball, by far.
Playing pickleball. That was fun.
You answered incorrectly.
Definitely not falling and eating.
I was going to say, that was probably your least favorite. You almost, broke your leg there.
So embarrassed.
That wasn't great.
My ankle, not my leg.
Right.
And now it makes a new noise.
Yeah, I think welcome to your 30s. I think my least favorite part was realizing, oh my god, I'm in trouble for all these stations. The assault bike.
You stress out about this DECA.
That's a lot, yeah.
When I'm not stressed about it, but you're stressed about it.
Well, you're not training or anything.
They say ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, you're going to be suffering immensely.
I bet you I'm not suffering immensely.
No?
No.
Okay, we'll see. And give a shout out to the sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear, use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase, and Caterpie, use code OCRReport20 for 20% off your next Caterpie purchase.
And shout out the $5+ Patreon supporters.
Samantha Thompson, Dave Claxton, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Kenny West, Laura and Stephen Ritter, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Cheryl Miller, Jessica Johnson, Nick Riker, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory Jr., Evan Irick, Brent George, Logan Nagel, Asa Connington, Seth Render-Knetch.
And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks.
The Podfather, check it out over at theocrreport.com. And to our sponsored athletes.
Javier Escobar, Kelly Sullivan, Ryan Brizzalara, and Joshua Reed.
All right. No poll results. I don't think we did a poll this week. And meme of the week, I think we'll skip that too. Because we put a lot of effort into the main part of the show, but forgot about all that other shit. So, quick news. First off, if you listen to us on Google Podcasts, please change to a different podcast app. They're going away, and I think this is the second to last week I'll have to say that. The 2024 New England OCR Expo on April 20th is in West Boylston, Massachusetts, and we are having a DECA Strong, a 100-meter ninja course, as well as another event that hasn't been released yet. We also registered for our first DECA Mile at Underdog Fitness on April 7th, so we hope to see you there as well.
Bonefrog canceled all events for the 2024 season.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to more of that in a little bit, but that is a bit of a bummer, and we didn't see that coming. Reached out to all three main owners, I would say. One not only declined a comment, but he told me not to mention him in it, and the other two, no answer from them. So not looking good. It looks like they're dead again. World Obstacles website was down for, I think, 4 days. Looks like they didn't pay the dues, so that's not too great for them.
Grit Coaching is teaming up with the OCR Report. They posted, "Stay tuned as we will be providing training tips and geeking out over exercise science on the OCR Report channel on a regular basis." And Grit Training is Faye Stenning and former Olympian Jess O'Connell.
Lumaflex announced that they are beyond stoked to announce their ongoing partnership with none other than Kevin Gregory Jr., a.k.a. Bubbles the Clown, so congratulations to him.
On March 20th, Chris Roglowski posted, "I was supposed to be back in Tennessee at the Frozen Head giving the Barkley Marathon 100 my best attempt this week. Instead, I'm out with a meniscus tear and will be lying on the couch a few more weeks." So that's a bummer.
Yeah, bummer to hear of her injury, but if there's any silver lining, maybe she'll start to slow down a little bit. And, I don't know, she does a good job with recovery, but I feel like youth doesn't last forever. So, yeah, hoping she recovers soon and gets back out there. Next up, Jasmine Paris is the first woman to finish the Barkley Marathons. She finished with a little bit more than a minute to spare, and that's pretty impressive. There were also 4 other finishers, including John Kelly, who we had on the show very recently. 3GX Mental Performance Training and Titan 6 Actual have teamed together to create the Breaking Barriers Beyond the Finish Line podcast. It's not anything yet, but it is going to be coming soon, so we'll update you as that progresses. And now we're going to get to some podiums.
This is from the Mexican National Series for the men overall. No, that's not what we want, right?
Yeah, the Mexican series.
Overall or elite?
There is no elite anymore.
Oh, okay.
There has been elite all year.
Okay, in third place, Eugenio Gaudens. In second place, Sergio Perez. And in first place, Angel
Quintero.
Okay.
He's one of our biggest guests last year.
And for the women, in third place, Isabel Bolivar. In second place, Aloysia Romero. And in first place, Dulce Flores.
And for the Spartan Atlanta Super Podiums.
In third place, Luke Ebling. In second place, Brant Boggs. And in first place, Brian Beal II. For the women, in third place, Hannah Francesco. Second place, Sarah Tucker. And in first place, Cassandra Gill.
Is there a beast for those two?
I don't see a beast. Oh. For the men, the beast. In third place, Chandler Ramirez. In second place, Preston Hart. And in first place, Brian Beal II. And
for some reason, no women's podiums for that again. I'm not sure why they neglected to post the women's results again, but that happened. Next up, we have the Dirty Leprechaun.
This is in Portland, Oregon. For the men's 5K elite, in third place, Tristan Worth. In second place, Aaron Rebel. And in first place, Chris Darithia. And for the women, in third place, Catherine Peterson. In second place, Fontaine Kaufman. And in first place, Jess Contreras.
And for Hazelwood OCR. It's all the whole long name. The Mosh OCR, Test Your Metal, Hazelwood OCR.
For the men, in third place, Evan Paparis. In second place, Jamie Ron. And in first place, Kim Walsh. And for the ladies, in third place, Cindy Hebert. In second place, Darcy Bates. And in first place, Nikki Zink.
And Savage Race Georgia podiums.
For the ladies, in third place, Sarah Tucker. In second place, Courtney Washington. And in first place, Rachel Waters. And for the men, in third place, Jonah Brown. In second place, Caleb Brown. And in first place, Kevin Thompson.
And the last news story that we almost forgot about because it was released yesterday, but Ryan Atkins and Lindsay Webster are having their baby. So Ryan posted, "We're incredibly excited to announce the arrival of our newest member of the family. Expected date is August 7th. This will be the biggest event of our lives, and we just can't wait."
What do you think the baby's last name will be?
Atkins.
Oh.
I think so.
I'm excited to hear.
Yes. There are 5 secret links, so go and check those out down below, but let's get to what this episode's all about. So you just kind of fucking stuck with us for this episode. I was planning to do a interview with one of the owners of Bonefrog. As I said, one was less than interested to being on the show. So instead we're going to do another OCR Eulogy, which we haven't done in a while, which is a good thing. But we haven't had the chance to really go through our total feelings and memories on the recent batch of OCRs that are now gone. So the big ones that we're going to touch on are Warrior Dash, Rugged Maniac, Terrain Race, and Bonefrog. So, Caitlin, let's start off with Warrior Dash. What do you have for news for us there?
So not really news, but more of a history of Warrior Dash. Their inaugural, is that how you say? Inaugural. Warrior Dash was in July of 2009 in Illinois, which is 35 miles southwest of Chicago, and they had 2,000 participants. Then, in 2011, Warrior Dash started to take off, and they hosted 33 races within the United States, and then in Canada and Australia, and they had over 700,000 participants. And then in July of 2019, Red Frog Events announced that they are ceasing operations, and all race events were canceled.
Yeah.
So they claim that Warrior Dash was 5K with at least 12 obstacles before reaching the finish line, where you would get a medal, a snack, and a water. Then I have a list from Reddit of some of the common obstacles. Do you want me to go through them?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. I'm just going to say our experience with that. So May 7th, 2016 in Thompson, Connecticut. We did it. It was myself, you, Alex, Megan, Angela, and Jimmy. And then I did it with Angela, just me and her, August 19th, 2017 in Thompson, Connecticut. And we definitely noticed a diminish in quality before they went out of business. We found nails in a crawling obstacle I got yelled at by someone for doing the obstacle appropriately, but he was confused. And just things in the venue were falling apart. All right, so what do you have for your obstacle list?
So, mud mounds, which is pile of mud and dirt that participants must climb over. A cargo climb. Goliath, which is a combination of climbing walls, a cargo net, and a water slide. Trenches, which is you crawl through low trenches filled with mud or water. Deadman's Drop, which is a steep slide into water. The Warrior Roast, which is jumping or crawling under flaming obstacles. Alcatraz, crossing a water obstacle on a floating platform. Warrior Wall, climbing over tall wooden walls. Mud Pit, pits of mud. The Great Warrior Wall is another variation of a climbing wall. And Muddy Mayhem, which is an obstacle with a mix of mud, water, and elements.
Is Fisherman's Catch there?
Not on Reddit.
So I was watching a video, one of the many videos that we've done. I believe it was the video from 2016 when we did it. I think there's a video of 2017 as well. But watching it, we kind of just started going around the track. There was barbed wire, crawling through dirty canals, small walls, crawling under the tarp. The big domed frame climb, which was interesting. But they had rings with water spraying, and I believe that was called Fisherman's Catch. There's a balance beam with water spraying, a water slide, fire jump, and a pipe of ropes. So fun obstacles there, but I don't know, how did you feel when they went under?
I feel like I didn't really have an opinion because they went under in 2019 and I did a Warrior Dash in 2014, so 5 years had passed.
You did one in 16.
16, so
yes,
3 years had passed, so it wasn't really on my radar.
With my last experience in 2017 of it not being enjoyed, I didn't mind. And plus, we had Rugged Maniac, so how bad could it be if we still had Rugged Maniac?
I kind of do remember that being like the, oh, well, at least we have Rugged Maniac mentality.
I always said that Rugged Maniac was Warrior Dash if Warrior Dash continued to give a shit. And that was kind of my saying for a while there.
You know what's so weird about Warrior Dash that I learned in my research?
What?
That each participant had the opportunity to raise funds for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, but Warrior Dash did not contribute any of their revenue back into St. Jude.
So that's incredibly common, too. You go to a place and it's like, would you like to round up to the nearest dollar to
Is it
donate?
terrible that I usually say no?
No, because the company themselves don't donate. Spartan did something very similar, and I think they might have gotten in trouble with, they would have like the charity things, but they would never pitch in themselves. It was just other people doing it. But I do remember that they had a relationship with St. Jude. Not as much so as with Muckfest. They worked with the MS, yes, but they kind of like were associated-ish and then got them some fundraising that way. But they also had some fun venue stuff too. What else do you have for information?
They have had axe throwing contests,
Contests? I don't remember that.
Fireworks, and chainsaw carving displays. It said that it varied based on location.
That's fair, yeah.
I feel like Massachusetts is probably one of the more boring places.
Well, we weren't in Massachusetts. We were in Thompson, Connecticut.
Connecticut, even more boring.
Absolutely.
Connecticut is a drive-through state. You know, there's like the flyover states. Mm-hmm. Connecticut is the drive-through state.
Yeah, not a fan of Connecticut here. Sorry, Bubbles.
And I live in New Jersey, so I'm allowed to talk trash about other states.
Yeah. What else do you have for information for them?
That's really it.
Did you talk about the hats? You used to get the fuzzy hats with.
You want to hear what Reddit says each participant receives?
You made a lot of notes. Let's hear it.
So you got a race bib, a t-shirt, a Warrior Dash helmet, a free beer if you are of legal drinking age, a free finisher medal, and a post-race snack and water. Nice. And their hats were like the little Viking hats, do you remember?
Yeah, I still have some unopened in that big box too.
I wonder if we could sell them on eBay.
Probably. I was going to use it for this weekend, for this episode, but we'll figure that out. Any final thoughts on Warrior Dash before we move on?
Well, from my research, it was kind of crappy that they didn't offer, when they closed in 2019, they didn't offer any refunds, and they took money from participants and continued to advertise, even though they thought they were closing.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
So that's crappy.
And did you say that other races stepped up and tried to take care of people?
Well? Yes, other races, if you had like a Warrior Dash race, like a receipt from a paid entry, you could cash it in for other races.
Nice. That it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Moving on to Rugged Maniac. So, okay, then do you want to start this one off again?
Yes. In 2010, Rugged Maniac had their inaugural.
We practiced before. Inaugural. Inaugural. It's a
Inaugural.
very complicated inaugural.
This whole little scenario we just did reminded me of a scene from Friends when Phoebe's trying to teach Joey French and he like mimics it word for word. And then at the end, he's like, blah, 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 and Phoebe's like, that's not what we said. Anyway, Rugged Maniac had their inaugural, whatever that word is,
Go with it.
season in October 2010, and their very first race was held in Southwick, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And they hosted over 2,000 race participants.
They hosted them?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. As I said, they hosted blank events is what I was thinking.
One event with over 2,000 participants.
Yeah.
In September 2013, the producers of Shark Tank actually contacted the founders of Rugged Maniac and asked them if they would come on Shark Tank. And they said yes, and the original investment was $1 million for 10% of the company. And they eventually reached a deal with Mark Cuban and settled on $1.75 million for 25% of their business. Since appearing on Shark Tank, the Rugged Maniac event had expanded to Canada. They increased their sales by almost double, and they expanded to 28 cities and created a second race called the Costume Dash 5K, which debuted in Boston.
Nice. Yeah, they were a Boston-based company, I believe, too, right?
Yes. In 2016, the American Cancer Society officially announced a charity partnership with Rugged Maniac as an extension, as like a traditional walk to raise funds for the American Cancer Society.
Nice. Should I go into our experience with it?
I'm not done.
Okay.
Rugged Maniac was consistently listed as one of the most successful Shark Tank investment deals in terms of growth and profit, which is crazy. And then Rugged Maniac is known for having 25 obstacles over a 3.1 mile course. The types of obstacles vary location to location, but each course had at least 25 obstacles.
Nice. Yeah, for the longest time I just treated it as, and it was, my second favorite obstacle course race, my first favorite being Savage. At the time, our experience with them, us and the team back in the day. So September 28th, 2014, me and you ran it in Southwick, Massachusetts. September 27th, 2015 in Southwick, Massachusetts, Jake and Justin did the event. And then July 9th, 2016, you and I did it in Englishtown, New Jersey. Do you remember that venue?
I do remember that venue.
That is do you know what's so famous about that venue?
That was the original World's Toughest Mudder venue.
That's right, yeah. So that was a very big deal. And then September 24th, 2016, Angela did the race by herself in Southwick, Massachusetts. September 23rd in 2017, me and you ran it. I think that was the last time you ran it. And then September 28th, 2019 in Southwick, Massachusetts, I ran it by myself. Did it right after doing a 5K in my town too. So I made like the last wave there. And it was the best entry level OCR. And Caitlin, you always ended up being sick for almost every single one of those events. You had a fever, you were like coughing up something, you were sick almost for every single one of them.
And I still showed up.
Yep.
I remember one time I had a fever and I took like ibuprofen before we went to Rugged Maniac, and I've never left a race so bruised in my entire life.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you remember that?
I do now, yeah. I also remember that we were like, oh, we're in Southwick. We must be near the Southwick Zoo. No, the Southwick Zoo is actually in Mendon, and I remember being... I felt like an hour away from Southwick where we were.
Was it?
It felt far.
It did feel far. Was that the time we also visited Greg Manley at Spirit Halloween?
I believe so, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Because I believe Southwick, Massachusetts is like right above the Connecticut border. But I remember the venue, at least in Southwick, making great use of the terrain. I watched the 2014 video, and it had some ninja steps, balance beam seesaws, horizontal log traverse, giant inflatable things to hit you when you went across, a small A-frame, barbed wire, a bigger A-frame cargo, ladder walls, balance beam, over pipes and water, jumps in water, water slide, rec bag carry, tubes, trampolines, which was fun, those balance lily pads that Caitlin's good at, rings, fire jumps, multiple, warped wall, horizontal cargo net. There was a lot of really good obstacles there.
Well, lucky for you, I found a list of obstacles.
Okay, what are the actual names? Because you could see them in the video, but I didn't stop to list all of those.
So, anti-gravity, 2 rows of trampoline, which bounced the participant up the padded cargo climbing wall. A frog hop, which was exactly what you talked about, like the lily pads. The ringer, rows of pull-up rings suspended over a large water pit. The Accelerator, a steep 50-foot water slide.
Any memories of that one?
No.
Yes, you got the wind knocked out of you so badly that it had to carry you out.
Superhero Scramble.
Nope. They had a fast slide too that people used to break their arms on, but yeah.
Oh. It's funny how the trauma just gets boosted together.
That was way back, yeah.
The Gauntlet 2.0, which was a massive swinging bag suspended over a narrow path made from foam pads. I think you were also like on a balance beam.
Yeah, highly recommend you. The links are down below, but I highly recommend that you watch one of these videos and see what it was like back then.
They had a warped wall, Leap of Faith, a 4-foot deep pool of muddy water in which participants jumped into. The Pyromaniac, rows of burning logs. Waterworks, large floating pipes in waist-deep water in which participants must go under and over them. Balance or Bust, which was like a walk the plank. Tipping Point, a seesaw. Let's Cargo nets leading up to a steep incline. Pipe Dream, large drainage pipes to crawl through, usually placed through mud tunnels. Commando Crawl, going through a crawl under barbed wire. Claustrophobia, dark narrow tunnels cut through the earth. Speed Trap, muddy water with randomly placed steep drop-offs. Napoleon Complex, 8-foot walls. The Trenches, mud trenches dug into the ground. Quad Burners, tall dirt hills. Jacob's Ladder, a 12-foot wooden ladder pyramid. Head Scratcher, a low belly crawl under barbed wire through a muddy watery field. Ninja Escape, a triangular wooden platform placed in a zigzag formation above the muddy field. Beam Me Up, a 14-foot ladder, slanted ladder. Pack Mule, carrying a sandbag over a short distance. Shoe Catcher, thick pool of mud. And Barricades, a short 4-foot wall designed for participants to vault over.
Yeah.
And then Bang the Gang.
What?
Bang. Bang the Gong. Gong?
Yep.
Gong.
Mm-hmm.
Small. Why would they make it almost rhyming? Bang the Gong.
I don't know, this isn't Tough Mudder or Savage. I don't think that was intentional.
Bang the Gong, which was small trampolines placed in front of metal gongs suspended over a body of water. And you must jump and hit the gong before falling in the water. And then they had the Gauntlet, which was a massive swinging bag over a narrow wooden path suspended over a body of water.
Yeah. And I do remember them using just the venue very, very well. That's the main venue that we went to was Southwick, but it was on a motocross course, which was a lot of fun. And I remember that we really appreciated that the logo had like men and women flexing. Like their logo wasn't just a dude; it was a dude and a gal. And
ew, why did you say it like
I don't
that?
know. And I thought that was really cool too. I love Rugged Maniac, and I think that hit really hard when I realized they were going on.
I know,
there.
because we were going to run a Rugged Maniac event this year.
Absolutely. And we haven't run one since COVID because scheduling conflicts, which was a wicked bummer. And when I first found out that they were going under, I had the same thought, like, okay, well, at least they're going to finish this year. They did not finish this year. And so I still have to clear them from not only my events calendar, but also our podcast coverage calendar, which sucks as well. Any final thoughts on Rugged Maniac?
It will be missed.
Yeah, love them, love the medals, love everything about it.
So the fact that they got on Shark Tank and had Mark Cuban buy them out, which is crazy.
That was a very big deal.
He's the one that owns the...
Don't like me, I'm not into business stuff.
I want to say the Cavaliers?
A lot.
Nope, the Mavericks.
Sports team.
The basketball team in Dallas.
Next up, we have Terrain Race, which this one's going to be admittedly a lot shorter. Do you have any?
I could find nothing on Terrain Race, and what I found on Reddit was listed under scams.
Yeah, wow, that is fair. So, just to be very clear here, we are not confirming that they're dead, but they have been moving back their events and constantly postponing them and all that stuff. So legally,
their website doesn't
whatever.
have any events listed.
Yes. So based off of that, we're putting them in this list so we don't have to ever talk to them.
They could rise again from the dead.
But they don't need to. You can stay down.
They could pull a Jesus.
Our experience with them is May 19th, 2018. We ran it in Thompson, Connecticut. which was the same place as Warrior Dash place.
I did not run it.
Yeah, I don't know who I did that with. It just, I have with, question mark. I could not find any more information in all of my files, and I'm usually pretty good about that. But August 17th in 2019, we did it in Lancaster, Massachusetts. And that was with Angela, Jimmy, and Jimmy's son. And if I remember correctly, and I think I watched this video, Jimmy didn't run it, but I spent the whole event chasing down Jimmy's son, who was very little at the time. It was weird seeing him, was it last weekend, 2 weekends ago? When he's much bigger now, but he couldn't do any of the obstacles, which is fair. But that kid would run, and trying to chase him down was exhausting. So watching the video from 2019, what I remembered was a massive bottleneck right at the goddamn start. That was really bad. But a small wall, monkey bars, ring to traverse bar to another rig, log hurdles, tire flips, a balance beam in the shape of a Z, bucket carry, a wall, rope climb, tire and rope traverse, muddy tube crawl, fire hose, cargo crawl, cement chain drag, tire drag, rope swing traverse, cargo net wall, and then you get what I kept calling the monkey medal. I was very excited to get that monkey medal. I think it was like two bottle openers as each year's. So that was pretty cool, and it was also magnetic, so it could stick to the fridge. I think Warrior Dash had like the original bottle opener one in OCR. But not much to say about that. I do remember that they handed out white cotton shirts, which immediately would get filthy muddy. So I don't remember if I even have one of those, which is kind of weird. But they were known as the Spirit Airline of OCR in that they were super cheap. They were quote unquote free, but you would be charged for this. You would be charged for that. You would be charged for this. And not just like parking in this, but I think like a fee for like the metal. And I don't know, it was like a lot to check your bag and everything. And that kind of added up and made it what it was. So what do you have on the website?
It says, while we strive to deliver unforgettable experiences, sometimes circumstances beyond our control necessitated the following events to be either canceled or postponed. We understand your excitement and anticipation, and we share your disappointment. If your event has been affected by a cancellation or postponement, your account will be credited for a race of your choosing in our 2023 or 2024 seasons.
Yeah, so what they did well is lowering the barrier of entry. You know, hey, it's free, anyone can join. So I think that made it very easy for people to show up to their events. What they did poorly was putting on events and continuing to stay alive and communicating what's been happening and the constant acquisition over acquisition after acquisition. We had Dustin DeRoe on the show not too long ago, and he was a very big part in trying to get them to rebrand and show a better face and this and that. And he tried his best, and that didn't work out, and I think they've been acquired twice again since then. So, yeah. Did you ever do a terrain race?
No, I haven't.
You didn't miss out on much. To anyone listening, you know, Warrior Dash was good back in the day. Rugged Maniac was great forever. They never diminished in quality. That's, I think, what sucked most about that. Terrain race, it's okay. It was okay. And for the last one, we have Bonefrog. So we have a lot of experiences on this one. Do you want to get to what you have?
The only thing I could find was Bonefrog was created by Navy SEALs to challenge, build, and inspire participants to become better athletes and recognize that they can do anything they set their minds to while enjoying the camaraderie and teamwork usually reserved for active duty Navy SEALs. And then you would have at least 30 military-style obstacles on a course that range from 3 to 9 miles, and the course will test everyone and leave no one unscathed. Mm-hmm. They attempted to place an obstacle every quarter of a mile, apparently.
Yeah. And so what we had for our experience and experience of the team back in the day, May 20th, 2017 in Charlemont, Massachusetts. Jimmy ran that one by himself. May 19th, 2018 in Charlemont, Massachusetts. Jimmy ran that with Sean. On June 16th, 2018 in Stanhope, New Jersey, Jimmy ran it with Angela. On July 28th, 2018 in Glenwood, New York, Jimmy ran it with Angela. And I do believe that's
definitely when we got the hate mail.
That is absolutely the one that we got a unprecedented amount of hate mail that we've never gotten
T-Rex.
since. Yeah, and I don't want to move my computer in danger and to unplug the mic, but I have a picture of Jimmy and Angela back there from North American OCR Championships. But Jimmy says, from Your Most Hated Podcaster, because he thought it was very funny how much people hated their feedback on that. But it was I'm not done with all the events we went to. September 8th, 2018 was in Barre, Massachusetts. That was my first one that I did with Angela and Jimmy. Caitlin, you were reading a book.
Was I?
Yeah, you were reading a book in a field when I came back.
Oh.
It was weird. May 18th, 2000.
Me reading a book.
May 18th in 2000. That's probably the last book you read.
Like
May 18th, 2019 in Charlemont, Massachusetts. Jimmy ran that one by himself. September 21st in 2019 was Barre, Massachusetts. Angela did that one by herself. And then the last event was June 18th, 2021 in Stanhope, New Jersey, where I did 3 laps of that course. And something that was interesting about their events, and I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm going to try my best, is that they had the sprint, the challenge, the tier 1, the endurance, and I want to say there were like 2 others. And it was a whole bunch of messy brand confusion.
And the tadpole race.
Oh, and that's a cute little thing too. But they also had what I loved so much about their event in 2018 at Barre, Massachusetts, was they had UDTs at the finish line, which are underwater demolition teams, and they were the people that came before the Navy SEALs, which is pretty cool. They were just the people that would go in there with like a knife and bombs and just like get shit done. So that was very cool to be handed a medal by one of them. But as we heard from Jimmy and Angela across multiple events, is that their quality would really, really vary from event to event, and that's why we got so much hate about that New York venue. Like, oh, New York and OCR is struggling there. It was like the Muddy Buffalo people. I don't know. They were pissed.
They were.
But they just called in and said what they said about the race. They weren't very thrilled with it, but it was that. And then I watched the video from when I ran it September 8th, 2018. And there was the Rolling Thunder, which I love that obstacle that's jumping over the tire hurdles. There was the balance beam. There was like up a wall, Herc hoist, another wall, lots of thick mud. Slip wall, rope swing, crawl with no barbs, I'm pretty sure. I'd have to check that video again. Rig with these toilet roll looking things that were really hard to hold on to because it would spin. Cargo strap A-frame. There's another rig. There was a bender obstacle. Irish tables, which were pretty difficult. The memorial wall, which I thought was very cool. They had the dips, burpees, and do you remember what the last exercise was for that one? Can't think of what it was.
No.
Dips, burpees, I don't remember. And there was a neck crawl, balance beam, rope climb, inverted wall, narrow ladder climb. Oh, the Cayman ladder. Ring to helicopter traverse. I can't remember what that one was called. Get to the chopper, something like that. Sandbag carry through walls with the sandbags. Cargo up, rope down, vice versa. Complex rig with U monkey bars to straps. That was a weird one. Sternum checker, massive A-frame. Black Ops, which was their pinnacle obstacle where you would go across these monkey bars that were very high up, and they would always have a photographer there taking pictures with the American flag in the background, which was pretty badass. But those monkey bars would spin, and they ripped my hands pretty good the last time I did it. Kim, you volunteered for their last event in Stanhope, New Jersey, right?
Yes, I did bag check.
Yeah. How was your experience with that you can talk about?
I mean, the experience was fine. It was what was written inside of the trailer that, gave me a major ick.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what was there, but I just remember, reading, I am a volunteer. They have no idea who I am, and I'm in this trailer doing bag check, and I'm just like, what in the world? Do you remember what was written? I feel like it was, I don't remember.
It was, anti-women stuff, right?
I don't remember if it was written anti-woman stuff or if I heard anti-woman stuff.
It might have been both. I don't remember. You might have talked about it in that episode. I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
But we do love Scott Sweeney, who was the volunteer coordinator, who was great there. And of course, all of our experiences, this was before their acquisition, which just recently they canceled all of their events for all of this year. And while they aren't technically dead, my feelings is that they should kind of stay dead because Bonefrog did have...
Or rebrand.
Yeah, completely. No more frogs, no more green, as Will Hicks said. There's no successful green logo races anymore. Battle Frog, Bonefrog, Fit Challenge. Oh God, our logo is green.
Our logo is Green Bay Packer green, though.
That's true. But it's just, it had mixed feelings before. And now that it's going through this again, there's no way that they can recover. And they shouldn't recover from this. They did have, to my knowledge, Empowered, had their obstacle burn races that we used to talk about in Quick News, they got this in order to hopefully like gain more following, I guess. I don't know completely. I'm kind of talking my head of my ass a little bit, but we did do an episode. You did the interview with Malia Oxner?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it seemed like it was a really good event. They were putting on 3 events instead of just the one this year. But as Matthew Davis points out in his video, their numbers were very bad. And it's just kind of the way things are going now, unfortunately, is you can't really survive.
Just the way it is.
It is. And it's a bummer, but that's the way things are. There was also some other stuff behind the scenes that we are more privy to that even Matthew Davis isn't. But, you know, if we're not supposed to talk about things, we're not going to talk about those things, right?
Correct.
Fun stuff.
Even though you just baited so many people.
Oh, that's fine. Any more thoughts on Bonefrog?
No.
Their events were pretty cool. They had their Trident medal, which was very cool. I'm looking at that over there. It's one of the coolest medals that I have, which it's like from doing like the 3 laps, you get like one thing on top and then like the sprint and I don't know. Sprint was another one. Sprint challenge, tier 1 endurance. There was a whole bunch. But yeah, those are 4 races that are no longer with us with an asterisk in the case that who knows what the holy hell is going on with the terrain race, and Bonefrog is still a company that exists. Whether or not it's going to do OCR, whatever it's going to do in the future is its own thing, but that is that. So we're going to say farewell to those events, and we're probably going to reference them in the future, but this was like a good way to kind of get out our feelings on the state of the industry, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, we're really sad and nostalgic to see these old videos. Like people think of college as their glory days, which, yeah, college was fun.
College were my glory days.
That's sad. But
I peaked in college.
But my glory days are these old videos, 2014 to 2017, when I was really, really in love with this sport. And you can just see it in all these videos. It was really fun. Like look at super young me and you, 2014. Aww. That was a decade ago, Caitlin. A decade ago, the story of Maniac was. That's what I'm saying. I wish I could have described the medals and stuff too, but yeah. So go back and listen to those. Watch those videos. Listen to those old podcasts where we covered them. Again, the podcast only started in 2017. I've been doing these things since 2012. So
you got a naked face in this video.
I do. Yeah, that's weird. My face just looks so skinny too. It's weird. But yeah, that just wraps up that part of the show. Yeah, let us know your memories of, Rugged Maniac, Warrior Dash, Bonefrog, Terrain Race, and if you're working with those companies that are still around, please don't sue us or anything. That'd be great. Thanks. Just doing what we can here. And welcome back. Thank you to everyone who was listening, and thanks to all the people that worked so hard on those events to put on some quality events. But most of those events. For related episodes, there's a bunch. I was only going to put the ones that were related to, deaths of races, but I put those and all episodes related to those 4 events too. So episode 20, yeah, way back. I can't vouch for how 2017 episodes went, but episode 20 was Sasquatch Hikes Mount Monadnock, Bonefrog Challenge, Meet 25, number 25 of the teams, Shaylin Floria, Deca Color Run. Well, that's kind of funny. With David Ferreira and
not
Evans
Deca.
Run. No, Deca was like something for Bridgewater Rainham's like school thing.
Yes.
Also from 2017, Warrior Dash New England and Tough Mudder Northeast was episode 33. Episode 38 was Rugged Maniac New England and Jamestown Half Marathon. Episode 72, Terrain Race New England with Elites, Bonefrog New England, and Nami Walk. I'm remembering now, I think I ran the first terrain race by myself in 2018. That makes more sense. Bonefrog New Jersey was episode 2018. 2018, I think, is when the show started getting decent. And then Bonefrog New York was episode 82. I believe those were like call-in shows where Angela or Jimmy would call in and talk about their experience. And 82 is when we got the boatloads of hate mail. Episode 87 was our first OCR events Eulogy, which was remembering Battlefrog, Superhero Scramble, Spartan Cruise, and many more. I hope that episode was good. I think we did a lot better with it this time, but yeah.
R.I.P. the Spartan Cruise.
And Superhero Scramble, and Battlefrog, and the many, many more that were in there. Episode 88 was Bonefrog Boston with Elites. That was from 2018. Episode 109 was Mark Jones on Tough Mudder changes in the last Polar Bear Challenge with Elites and Rob Butler. That is one of our top 5 best episodes of all time. Sasquatch Hikes Mount Monadnock was also big back in the day, too, because it had the name Sasquatch
People
in it.
love hunting for Sasquatch.
Man, that's the only explanation. One, that title is like 2 titles long. It's way too big. And yeah, but it had Sasquatch in there, and I think that's why it picked up some steam.
Somebody I went to high school with is hunting Sasquatch.
Oh, good luck to him. He could be the guy. Episode 142 was from 2019, Bonefrog Boston. Episode 143 was Bridgewater Police 5K at Rugged Maniac with Jeff Scott and Christopher Calandro. I think that's when I just went there by myself and just had a field day with it. And the last one that I did, holy crap, that was before the pandemic. Episode 281 was the final Wasson Pond Pounder with David Veal. Episode 285 was the final Bonefrog in New Jersey with Brian Carney. We had a great time with that one. That was the last Bonefrog that I did. The episode right after that was 286, the final Indian Mud Run with Miranda Huber. And unfortunately, that was the last Bonefrog. Oh, sorry, the last Indian Mud Run. And then 328 was the final Fit Challenge OCR with Elites, Ultras, and more. And then episode 348 was Malia Ochsner on Star Wars, American Ninja Warrior, obstacle testing, and winning Bonefrog. And that was when Bonefrog returned. So lots of episodes you can go back and listen to. No pressure, but it'd be cool if you did. And yeah, links down below, so would you kindly check those out?
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a review on that purple podcast app. Follow us on social media. We are on the Instagram and the Facebook, as well as technically X.
Ugh.
You can pay us on Patreon for as little as $2 or as many as $10. Support us over Patreon. Maybe that's the better verbiage.
All right.
Coming up next.
Oh my god, it's almost April?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Okay, well,
it's almost my birthday.
I have something planned. I don't know if I have enough time to do it. I'll have to talk to a person. Any excuse to talk to this person sounds good to me. But we have something planned for next episode. The following episode is the Deca Mile at Underdog Fitness. Episode after that, we still haven't registered, but I wanted to go to New York for the Boogie Wonderland 6-hour race. After that, it's a New England OCR Expo. And following that is Spartan, New Jersey Ultra Trail Trifecta Weekend. Lots of stuff coming up. This year is really getting going. We have stuff planned all the way until the first episode of May. And yeah, oh boy.
I thought you didn't want them up there.
I don't, but I'm recording right now. Let's see. Caitlin, do you have a joke or a quote?
I do. My quote is from Dr. Seuss. He said, "Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened."
That's fitting.
And then my joke is, what is every kitten's favorite Disney movie?
Aristocats.
The Little Mermaid.
Nice. Well, that just about wraps it up. My name is Michael Stefano.
And my name is Caitlin Ritter.
We've been talking for 45 minutes straight. I don't know how Race Brain does it.
I could talk for way longer.
I know, but I feel like, I don't know. There's only so much information to talk about. I think we did a good job. Give us some good feedback. I'd appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe to our show and write us a review on your favorite podcast app.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook and connect with us there.
Most importantly, we would appreciate it if you shared an episode with a friend so we can reach more ears
They continue to effectively shine a light on the people in our sport, as well as the events that we are so passionate about.
Our intro song is Streaker by Straight Up, and our outro music is Iron Call by The Best.